Hi, so I'm learning something and I want you to learn that too. That is, if you want to, of course. But I mean, that's the whole reason why I show up here every day. I want us to learn and grow together and remember that there's so much more than this. Although these can be beautiful at times, but you know when things seem to go wrong, and things go really dark, in those moments, I want us to remember that there's so much more that we can do. And I want us to remember that we can actually reach out for that. So, you know that place where mystics and shamans go to create since the beginning of times? I've learned that it just takes practice to be there and get to create. And it's not difficult, actually. It just takes a little practice. I'm speaking about that place where you get while you're falling asleep or when you're waking up. You know that state that scientists call hypnagogic state, which is just before you fall asleep or just as you're waking up, when you realize that from a rational point of view, what you're thinking makes no sense, but it's kind of satisfying and your mind puts together things in a very different way. So if you realize that you are there, you can try and stay there for longer. You can try and be aware of that state, of you being there just before falling asleep or just as you're waking up. That is a state where I usually get lots of visions and messages and downloads, and where my spirit guides show up and I don't understand what they say, but I know they are there. So 2 days ago, I was in that state and I realized that I was there, and I've practiced this for the past few months. I even made some videos about it, I think back in March, explaining how you can use that if you don't want to meditate and you want to get downloads and messages and how to get there. So go check some of my videos in March if you want to learn more about that, and I can do more videos if you're interested. But anyway, I was getting there the other day and I realized I was there, and then something different happened. Instead of just being there and listening and receiving messages, I found myself saying, oh, this is where I get to create. And I realized that I was moving my hands in a way so that I could manipulate energy. And I was really creating, like when you have Play-Doh and you're playing with it and you're making something out of it. I was doing the same with energy. And did I get to actually make something out of that? I don't think so, but that's a starting point, right? Anyway, I was in that space and I felt like I was in a bubble. I was in no space and no time, but somehow that space was expansive. I felt like I was loosening up and I was getting larger, like my atoms were getting more far away from each other. You know, I was feeling softer and larger and more expansive, and in that state, that I realized that was the place where I could actually create. And it was great. It felt great. It didn't last very long, of course, but I realized that I can stay there for longer and longer if I practice. That's a good thing. The important thing is I realized that in that liminal space, we get to manipulate energy fields. That's what mystics and shamans do. That's the real witchcraft. So I have the feeling that new abilities are unlocking for me, and I want us to move forward together in this magic life. And I want to pass this on to you today. It's not difficult. It's not unreachable. The only things that you need to do is 1, be curious. 2, be consistent. Being consistent doesn't mean do it every single day, but do it as often as possible. That's being consistent, okay? Most of the time is consistency. And then the third thing, take it lightly. Enjoy it. Have fun while trying things. That's the key to success in this crazy realm of possibilities and magic. Have fun while trying things and go where the fun takes you. If you have fun doing something, keep doing that. If you have no fun, let it go. Release that and try something else. So I'll keep you posted, and you tell me if you have any crazy experience in your hypnagogic state, and if you can be aware of that and linger in there and stay there for longer and longer times. Let's go make some magic today. Have a great day.